Hey guys, this is Mrs. Graham, and this video is on subject-verb agreement. One of the main reasons that we spend a lot of time on parts of speech and on finding subjects and verbs is subject-verb agreement is one of those grammatical issues that most adults have. In fact, it's one of the top mistakes that adults make when they're speaking and writing. So we're going to start off with this first slide that just says subjects and verbs must agree. And what that means is that they have to agree in number, and number just means singular or plural. Okay? So what I'm basically saying to you is that if the subject is singular, the verb has to be singular. And if the subject is plural, the verb has to be plural. They have to match. So, for example, one dog is sitting on the grass. Two dogs are sitting on the grass. Keep in mind that you've been speaking English for most of you are 12 or 13 years old. You've been speaking English for 12 years. Your ear already knows how to agree most of the time. So here, one dog is singular, right? And is singular. And the way you know it's singular is you could say he or she, that's one person, right? You could say he is. And what I try to tell students to do is instead of using the subject one dog, convert it to a singular pronoun. So for example, every time you see a singular subject, in your head say he or she. So in this case, we could say he, and we say he is, and that matches. Here, two dogs. Let's convert anything that's plural to the pronoun they. So they are, plural and plural. So that seems really simple. Now, the next thing I need to teach you is that prepositional phrases do not count when it comes to agreement. So, prep phrases, which I know that you can find because you watched the other videos, do not count. So, if you look at this sentence right now, the car with many riders was speeding around the curve. With many riders, you need to basically not look at. So you're scratching that out. The subject is car, so that's singular. And remember how I told you, don't look at the subject, make it into a pronoun. So you could say it if you want to. It was. That's singular and that's singular, right? So it was speeding around the curve. See, if you don't cross out this prepositional phrase and you said the car with many riders, riders is plural. So you very well could say the verb were, and you don't want to do that. So get rid of the prepositional phrases. Subject is car and the verb is was. And again, don't ever say the subject. Convert it to a pronoun, either he, she, or it. Okay. Here are two more examples that say the exact same thing. The windows of that house need to be repaired. Very simply, you see of that house, you get rid of that. The subject is windows. And remember, I told you, don't use that. Convert it to a pronoun. It's plural. So in your brain, you're going to say they. They need. Plural, plural. The next one. In my opinion, the price of movie tickets is too expensive. Again, get rid of movie tickets. Subject is price. Convert it to a pronoun, it. It is. Again, if you don't get rid of this prepositional phrase, you're going to look at the word tickets and you're going to get confused. Now, then there's the problem of and or. So watch this carefully. The dog and the cat are on the porch. So what I want to tell you is that anytime you have and separating a subject, okay, you're going to use plural. Okay, so dog and cat with and, you're going to say they. They are. So simple, right? Now, let's look at another example. But what in the world do you do with or? This is like the craziest rule in the world. So watch this carefully. This is really crazy, and most people don't know it. If you said the dog or the cats, or you said the cats or the dog. Okay, watch this. All you do when you see or, let me get a red pen. If you see the word or, you look at the subject that is closest to the verb. So in this case, in this sentence, cats is closer, and that's plural. So you would say they are. Okay? But in this sentence, the cats or the dog, in this sentence, dog is singular, so you would say he is. Isn't that crazy? So if you were to say the dog or the cats are in the house, or the cats or the dog is in the house, there would be two different verbs. And I'm sorry this looks kind of messy. I want to make sure that this is very clear. All you do is if you see or nor, you look at the subject that is closest to the verb and you decide it's plural, then use a plural verb. And if the subject is singular, use a singular verb. Now, if you look down at the bottom, two singular subjects, neither Elizabeth nor Rihanna. So you've got a nor, and there's Rihanna. Rihanna's singular, so you would say she once. Okay? Look at the next one. Two plural subjects, neither the kids nor. See the nor? So just look at adults. That's closest to that. So you would say they want. Singular and plural subjects, neither Elizabeth nor the kids. See kids? Kids is closest to this, so you say they want. Next, kids nor Elizabeth. So you see the nor? You're going to look at Elizabeth because it's closest to the verb, and you're going to say she wants. That's it. Okay. The last piece I'm going to teach you in this first video on subject-verb agreement is so simple. But when you have a sentence and you have something like along with or in addition to, you completely ignore it and it does nothing to do with the sentence. For example, if I say my sister along with my brother is going to the mall with me, it's is going. It's not are. Even though it would seem like, right, it makes sense. If you're adding someone, you would think you would make that plural, but you don't. Whenever you have together with or as well as or along with, it does not count. So I'm going to put the word count. It doesn't count. So you ignore this, and it's sister, so you in your brain say she is going. My parents as well as my brother, and so you're going to ignore as well as my brother. I'm going to get a red here so you can see me, or purple, sorry. And it's parents, that's they, have been sick for 3 days. Okay, that's all of subject-verb agreement, part 1. I hope that helped. You can watch the video more than once, and you also can ask questions. We are happy to help. It's one step at a time with subject-verb agreement. It's one of the trickier things to learn, but once you get it, you'll have it forever.